Well, speaking of Kathleen Killem, what are you doing during the quarantine? Well, I mean, it's kind of somewhat over, I guess, but when it was like maximum quarantine, how was you living?
Yeah, in the peak of it, I was doing homeschooling for my daughter, who is in 6th grade, going to seventh
That's
grade.
good. Shout out to the
Um,
daughter.
yeah, so they had a very strenuous online curriculum, and then all of a sudden, like children and parents who have never had to try to navigate an online curriculum was trying to do so to make sure our kids stayed on pace. I immediately, because I still have a day job, I immediately started working totally remotely from my corporate position. And then my spouse was furloughed for a short period of time. So all of a sudden, everybody was in the kitchen trying to eat or work or study or whatever whatever our daily activity was. The stress level, the anxiety level was really high. You and I talked about it as we prepared like for today's conversation. But all of a sudden, I'm like a busybody. I like my environment to change. I don't like sitting in one spot. I like to be moving around. And then all of a sudden, we literally was sitting at the table for 8 hours a day trying to get through our respective job functions. And it proved to be very trying.
Jarvis, before you chime in, Killem, how's your mental health? How are you? You all right? You good?
Yeah, I'm good because I am a advocate for therapy. I'm an advocate for self-care. I'm an advocate for prayer. And that's something that I had to learn to embrace, because you get wrapped up in the concept that like I ain't nothing. I'm killing nothing sweat. I'm a strong Black woman. Nothing sweats me. I got it. God won't put more on me than I can bear. And then all of a sudden you like, I can't bear no more. I feel like my spot at the gym ain't holding the weight properly and it's about to fall on my chest. And so instead of remaining silent, like I can push it back up on myself, I start to speak up and say, man, I need help. You know what I mean? And when I say I need help, it don't have to mean, I need psychiatric treatment. It could just mean, hey, hubby, I don't want to cook this week. I'm tired. I need somebody else to take over this domestic functions. Hey, daughter, mommy needs to take a bath and not be bothered while she listens to this podcast. Hey, counselor, therapist, I need a telehealth conference call where I can vent about how my family getting on my nerves or how my employer is not making me feel appreciated. Or in my prayer time, Lord, I need you to strengthen me. I need you to increase my patience. I need you to help me stay centered and focused on your word and not my circumstances. So I had to pull in all of my avenues to make sure I kept myself at a level of stability so I could be the mother, the wife, and the professional that I have to be.
Oh, okay. So, hey, let's stay here for a second.
That was a lot. You know how to talk a lot.
No, this is good. This is good. We need this. And Jarvis, Jarvis, how's your mental health? Because Kathleen Killem, we coming back. Jarvis, how's your mental health, bro?
Man, I'm good. I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot has happened. In 2020, man, a lot that can affect your mental health. So that's a very valid question, and I think it's great that that I have a friend like you that always asks that question. You know what I'm saying? So because even when you feel like you are right, just when somebody asks you that question, man, it makes you really reflect on like what's really going on. As far as the pandemic, man, I was at home for a month with the wife. It was fine. But when things kind of started affecting my mental health just a little bit was the George Floyd situation and all that. Yeah. That when all that stuff kind of got layered in, it's just like, okay, so now we got to deal with this all over again in the middle of a pandemic. That was when I was so it was a couple of days where I was like, man, I was in a kind of crazy mental space. But I mean, honestly, like I have a great support system. I have a counselor, great support system, like I said, with the wife at home. I have a great small circle of friends that check in on me and pray for me. So, it's nothing I couldn't get through. So I appreciate it. How's your mental health?
Man.
And don't sugarcoat it.
True. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Man, speaking on what you said, man, with the whole George Floyd situation and all that, you know, countless number of black men. I'm a black man with a daughter, so I'm scared out of my mind. So not only do I have to dodge Corona, but I got to dodge the police. You know, I'm walking around with a gun everywhere because I got, you know, come on, man, that's not normal. You know, I don't think others have to worry about that. All they got to do is really kind of, you know, dodge Corona and they all right. But as far as mental health, man, Killem, I heard you say you had a therapist. Sam, I heard you say you got a counselor. I don't have a therapist or a counselor, but me doing videos on Instagram is like a release for me. Me writing blogs, me doing this is therapy for me. Just being able to talk in like I don't know if you would call this a long form, but just being able to talk, get my thoughts out, ramble. Y'all are my therapists right now. You know, y'all are my counselors. I'm not paying y'all anything, so I'm coming off, you know, on the cheap end. But with saying all that, man, I'm outside of the foolishness, I'm in a great space, man. My daughter, my family, they hold me down, man. It's all good. Like, I'm at home with my family, bro. What else could I ask for? I got questions for y'all, man. Killem, therapist. And you don't have to say how much you pay or anything, but you pay monthly for the therapist, and Jarvis, you pay monthly for the counseling?
And just to clarify, this is something that was brought to my attention. I'm sure it hasn't been brought to the attention of a lot of like people of color. If you work for a company, including like the state of Texas, you likely have an employee assistance program. If you have an EAP through your employer, most companies offer payment for your first 5 sessions, which means you could get started with a therapist for 5 sessions in a row before you pay anything out of pocket. That's number one. So I took advantage of all 5 of those. Number 2, there is a page on Instagram. I'm sure there's a counterpart for Black men, but it's called Black Girl Therapy. So it's at Black Girl Therapy on Instagram. You can follow their page and follow their website. They will connect you with a therapist of color in your zip code. One that I found is called betterhelp.com. They offer sometimes a 14 or a 30-day free trial. So for example, the normal monthly fee, let's say it's $250 a month, but you have unlimited access to your therapist. So you could talk to a therapist every day, multiple times a day, either via phone, instant message, or virtually like video chat. That's for a flat rate. That was a little bit steep for me, and I don't feel like I need to talk to somebody like every minute via text. So I did go through the free trial just to get an introduction to telehealth, and then I decided to explore through my EAP program. And then because I really enjoyed it, I want to continue with her, and her fees will range from like $60 to like $125 an hour. So you could take advantage of getting started if you have an EAP program. If you have a health savings account, which again, most employers automatically take out of your check, you could use those funds for those type of services. And then again, being a woman, y'all know we put so much money into like, you know, self-care, beauty. Like I could blow $100 at the nail shop. So since everything was closed, you ain't got nowhere to go. If you got $180 for a sew-in, you got $100 a month to make sure your mental health is in check. So that's the way I gauged it. And if you think about it like that, it's priceless. You always can find the money if it's that important to you. Absolutely.
Man, Jarvis, do you pay for your counselor? We coming, Killem, we coming back. But Jarvis, what you got?
To Kathleen's point, the employee assistance program is huge. The reason I didn't go through that one was because I wanted to find one that was Black. I didn't know about the joint she was talking about at the time. So I wanted one that was Black and kind of in the Katy area. And so I had to do a little extra research. But yes, I pay per session. So it's going to be per session. And I use my health spending account as Kathleen talked about as well. And it's just a copay. It's just like $30 per session. So it's not, if I don't need a session, I don't pay.
Right. You see, Chris, he said, what?
Yeah, because
they make you feel like it's so expensive. But you don't know what expensive is until you explore it. You'll be surprised.
You know what? I listen. So check this out. Y'all mentioned something I was about to ask you, and y'all both said it. Therapists of color, okay? Because if I was to sit with, I gotta sit with somebody who understands what I deal with. I don't want to sit with no white man trying to bring me through. It don't make sense.
It don't make sense, right?
It don't make sense. Come on, man. That would be like, I feel like that would be like a white woman trying to tell a woman about like her hair texture.
Exactly.
And I mean, maybe they know something, but you can't. You ain't living this life. Yeah. So why was that important for y'all? A therapist of color. And before you answer, because usually, well, now things are starting to change. I feel like Black people are starting to realize the power that we have. But it used to be, hey man, white is right. White is the authority. So I heard y'all say that y'all were looking for therapists of color. Why is that important to you?
I mean,
go ahead, Jarvis.
To your point, Chris, like, how can any other ethnicity, any other gender relate to a Black man? Like, I don't think a white woman, like, they just can't relate. I mean, they can not be racist. They can, totally be educated and everything. But to really understand the struggles of a Black man and to really be able to voice those concerns and know that you're being understood and know that you're being heard and they're not just giving you some generic textbook answer, and really trying to probe, ask the right questions and give you the right guidance through your situation. I feel that it has to be somebody that can relate to you as well, because I don't want to, and again, I'm paying for this service. So I want the absolute best service, and the only way you can give me the best service to in my mind, and I could be wrong, is it needs to be somebody that has walked a day in a Black man's shoes. And I tell you what, it's kind of difficult finding a Black male counselor or therapist in Houston. It's very hard. Like, it's not many. But it's out there if that's what you need.
Kill him, holla at him.
Yeah, I just want to second Jarvis's point. Black male therapists, it's almost like it's worse than Black male teachers. It's not a profession that Black men are seeking to, explore, or, you know what I mean? It's not historically a profession where they may see like, money to be providers, but it's absolutely needed. So I feel bad for the vast number of Black males who are interested in looking for somebody who looks like them and having difficulty finding it. You know what I mean? That's probably plays a role in how many people actually seek out and execute therapy. For me, I guess I could say lucky. There are a lot of Black female therapists in the greater Houston area. And my blessing came in the form that my EAP program, they provide a website, and the website includes, it's almost like Facebook. It includes a bio, a history, a picture, a location. So I went to my network's website, I put in my zip code, and I put in like a 20 or 30 mile radius. Everybody came up, I read their bios, I read how much experience they had, I saw their pictures, I read like what areas of expertise they have, and I picked a AKA sister that graduated from PV.
Okay.
In the online, the Instagram page that I found is similar. It will connect you. It'll say like, hey, do you want somebody who is like Christian? Do you want somebody who is above the age of 40? Do you want somebody who is heterosexual? It asks you all those types of things to help you match, because understandably, you want to align with somebody who at least has your same like principles and values, so that y'all can be on the same page about what it takes to get you to your best self. So,
wow. Okay, this is good, y'all, because y'all know we were supposed to be talking about something else, but we're here. I like where we're at. I have a question. Killem, I heard, because you're the reason we're even talking about all this.
Oh,
when
really?
you were talking, absolutely. When you went on your rant, that's why I had to let you go.
Okay.
I was like, hold on, she got some good stuff over here. I heard you say, like, You know, sometimes I gotta tell daughter, I wanna sit in the tub and just listen to podcasts unbothered. I'm going through this and blah, blah, blah. As Black people, why is trauma so normal to us? Before you answer, because just think about what we went through. Like I remember like, and not to say that this was a traumatic experience, but you know, whatever. I remember like being in high school, living, it was my mother, my brother, and myself, and we're sharing one room in my grandmother's house. So I'm sleeping on the floor because I don't want to sleep in the bed with my mother from a 16-year-old. Not to say that that's traumatic, but for others, maybe that's not as normal, but that's just me giving an example that's not, you know, traumatic. But why is trauma and just things that aren't normal to others, why is that normal to us to where we just deal with it like, whatever?
And you know, that's the burning question of like people of African diaspora and mental health issues. I read something recently because, you know, it's rising to the top of like conversation and politics. So for example, the guy was probably a comedian. He was giving a joke. He said, imagine like during slavery, Chris is across the field, just got toe up for not moving fast enough. He comes across the field and I say, Chris, how you doing? And he said, you know what? I'm just down today. I wish I had somebody to talk to. And it's funny when you think about it, but he was like, that is our heritage. We've never in the history of being in this country had the opportunity to say, I don't want to do this no more. I'm having a bad day. I can't take it. I feel like I'm a break. We were taught to be silent and put one foot in front of the other. So think about it. If that is our bloodline, if that is we're not too far removed. Most of our great-great-grandparents were slaves. You were taught to be silent and keep it moving. And silent even means at times like not even releasing, not crying, not showing weakness, because that could be the difference between life and death. So we have historically been taught that your vocalism could mean your deathbed, depending on what circumstances you're in. So now that we still not a free people, because that's what brought us to this conversation in the first place. We know that we got to be careful how we move, what we say, when we say it. So we're still living in the shackles of not being able to freely express ourselves. And if you are not free psychologically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you can't help but to hold trauma. Whoa. How can you release something when you don't have you've never been given the right and recognized as a human being who even needed to?
Check this out, Jarvis, hold on, give me a second, Jarvis. I just thought about what's traumatic for us. I'm gonna say it may sound ridiculous, whatever, and we all deal with this. Because you don't own the corporation that you work for, you have to, 8 hours of your life every day, you have to be somebody else. In a lot of situations, you can't even be yourself. Mm-hmm. I have to, you have to speak
answer
in a
the
voice.
Phone different.
Yeah, you gotta, okay, I'm a black man with a beard. I gotta make this white woman feel comfortable. So I gotta, I can't be myself. I have to do certain things to make sure that's not, Jarvis, you about 6'4". Okay, if I approach this person, I gotta be gentle. I gotta, you can't, as black people, you can't even be yourself for 8 hours in a day, man. That's not normal. So every day you go to work, for most of us, we have to put on a mask. We're all wearing masks to work for 8 hours of the day.
That's a lot of weight.
Fam. Jarvis, where you at, fam?
That's heavy. When you talk about that, like it's very, that in itself is draining to have to literally, and for me, I've got to go sit in traffic to go to a job, to be somebody else for 8-9 hours, to then go sit in traffic again, and then I finally get to be myself, right? And you know, to Kathleen's point, like, yeah, it we've never been like, we've been taught and conditioned that this is our norm. Like, we don't have a voice, we don't matter. So we're always fighting from underneath. We're always battling upstream. We're always, you know, just it's always an uphill battle for us. So we get used to dealing with it like it's normal, you know. And when you were talking, man, you said when you had that epiphany of what it really is, it made me think, like, my white counterparts don't have to go through the battle I have to go through.
No.
They get to go to work and be themselves because they're not a threat. They're not intimidating. But as a 6'4" black male with a full beard, and like, I've been told I come across as abrasive and this kind of thing. It's like, I'm a gentle giant. Like, where do you get that from? Like, but again, it's because typically I'm the token black guy, and I gotta be kind of, you know, on the kumbaya side to, and then I even think about, like, from just the corporate ladder aspect, like how much harder we have to work to get half as far as others do, right? I know a brother that's phenomenal at what he does. Like, I mean, like, light years ahead of pretty much everybody in his same role. And he has a counterpart that's a white lady that is actually ahead of him for a promotion just because, and he definitely outworks her. He's smarter than her, but black man, white woman. And that also, that's frustrating, knowing that you're going to a job knowing that it's not a fair fight.
Yeah.
You know what? Check this out. I was looking at Shark Tank last night. You know, I had just given my daughter a bath, whatever she's eating. I'm looking at Shark Tank. 15-year-old white girl came in to pitch her idea, and she had her brother with her. Her brother was like an 11-year-old white boy. And they made like some little trinkets or whatever. And they came up with that idea so that they could help their parents pay for private school. You in private school, baby. But anyway, they came in there. They told the Shark Tank people, they're like, hey, look, we make $1,000 a day off this, you know, $365,000 a year, and we take a $80,000 salary every year. So these two white kids, not even 15, 16, they get a salary of $80,000 a year, making more than what I make as an adult, a fully functioning adult. And shout out to them, they had an idea and everything, but they had help. And they didn't get the deal. They didn't get a deal. Shark Tank people told them, hey, you need to put more work in, but keep at it, you'll get it. And the white girl started crying. And I got to be honest with you, I felt no sympathy for her. I'm like, baby, honey, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You're 15 years old making $80,000 a year, and you're upset because you didn't get a deal. Do you know what 15-year-old black kids have to deal with every day? Somebody go talk to my guy Trayvon Martin. Oh man, I'm sorry, you can't holler at him. You know why? Because some I'm not gonna curse because I don't want my baby to see this. But some guy took this guy's life and got acquitted for it. These are the deals that we have to face every day. We have to dodge bullets. We have to dodge Karens. And you up here crying about making $80,000, not getting a deal you want. Honey, you'll be all right. We ain't worried about you. I'm not worried about you. And I didn't have any sympathy for her, man, because my people, again, these are mental health situations. We have to make sure, we have to invest in our therapy, our counseling, you know, because we're dealing with foolishness on the daily. Let me ask y'all this. What do y'all do for self-care? Killem, I heard you talk about self-care and how that was a major investment for you, or something that you make sure you handle. I remember watching Insecure and Molly and Issa before they fell out.
Self-care Sunday.
Self-care Sunday.
Self-care Sunday. You know, Killem. What do you do for self-care?
And so, particularly for like the females that are gonna, watch this back and think about or assess their own self-care. Self-care doesn't have to be money spent. It doesn't have to be like the traditional way, especially as we wait to like return to some sense of normalcy during this pandemic. Sometimes self-care for me is I subscribe to like a lot of like inspirational stuff on YouTube, whether it be like, money management or, you know what I mean? Like anything of that, other poets or whatever, I'll put that on. I'll go walk around my walking trail in my neighborhood just to be outdoors, just to let the sunlight get that vitamin D on your skin, just to get away from the people in your house, just to clear your head. I also work out a lot, and not always because I'm looking for some type of physical benefit, even though that is very helpful. But the physical reaction of the body, the biological reaction of the body when you're working out, the release of endorphins and toxins and sweating and forcing yourself mentally to prepare yourself through like a workout when your physical body starts to give out. That's something that I learned at a very young age, that I could like mentally will myself. I could mentally will myself through like a difficult physical time. That's been helpful to me for a very long time. So I love to work out. I love to get outdoors. I love to read. Always be stimulating your mind. You can escape to a different place, get lost in a book. And as y'all know, I'm a creative. So if I could get into a creative space, whether it's writing a blog or creating a poem or doing something like this where I can share my energy and receive energy from other people, I can lay down feeling like very fulfilled. So all of those things are the ways that I get self-care. A bubble bath is like, and it don't even gotta be expensive bubble bath. You can use some Dawn in that boy. Just get you some suds. Just get you some suds. All you need is some suds. But yeah, like your favorite scents, like natural essential oils, a little tea tree, a little lavender, a bubble bath, turn them lights off, light a candle. Don't worry about your hair sweating out. I would take a bath multiple times a day if that's what it takes. But a bath, I don't know what it is. That warm water, those natural scents around you, close your eyes, try to let your mind slip. That is a very nurturing experience. So kill them with the self-care.
Jay Sam, what you self-care, fam? What you do, fam?
Man, during the quarantine, I used to go to a gym, and I used to, do that here and there. But during the quarantine, gyms closed and all that. So I really became a fan of outdoor running. So I just get up, I go out and just run by myself, just run with my AirPods in, just running. And it's just me and the music and me and the path. And I've learned that like, there's so much clarity in just that space of just being alone. And like, it can ignite those creative juices, those inner creators within inside of us. Yes. And so many things, just because you don't have all the noise of the world. Because once you get your day really started and you're thinking about work, or you're thinking about, home, or whatever you're thinking about, like, can really crowd your mental space. And it can create these blocks to where you're not creative, you're not productive as you could be. So that's what I found. So I really, again, like she said, it's not so much even about the physical aspect. Yes, of course, I need to stay healthy physically, but mentally is where your health begins. And just being able to do that and expend that energy, but at the same time, it's therapeutic as well. I'm in this room I'm in right here. This is my second little safe. It's my little safe place, man. Sometimes I'll put the little diffuser on with my eucalyptus scent, have the lights
eucalyptus?
off. Eucalyptus come through. And
that's why your skin looks so good, man.
And so, and the diffuser I have, it lights up. So I can have the lights off in the room, and the diffuser is acting as that light. And then I fire up, maybe some Toby and the Wingwee, and I'm just jamming out to that. And in my mind, man, with the aromas going, man, I'm like Bob Marley. That's like the reefer for me. Like I'm in there, like just in a zone, man, just jamming some good music.
Aromatherapy, that deserves some research too. I haven't researched it a lot. I just know how it impacts me. But aromatherapy, like that eucalyptus scent,
man,
peppermint,
it soothes you.
Tea
it's
tree,
so soothing.
it do something. Yeah, it does something to you.
Yeah, those essential oils are serious.
Yeah, man. And that's from the Lord. Essential oils from the earth. That's from the Lord.
Right.
Get you some of that.
And then just having conversation, with people that are open to listen. I don't care if we, disagree, as long as we can be respectful. Just being able to engage in dialogue respectfully, man, and getting those thoughts out. So, those are the three things I do typically for self-care.
That's beautiful, man. Y'all coming with some heat. Man, I'll go jump on my bike and just ride around the neighborhood. 2 hours. I'll take my baby with me. I take my baby with my baby coming with me. So baby mama, you be in the house, you get your peace or whatever. I got my baby with me, got the gun on me, so you ain't gotta worry about her nor me. I got the sippy cup with me, we got the crackers. I'm on the bike, I'm just
that boy got a glot and a sippy
crackers.
Yeah, but we riding, pause.
On American Dad.
I got the podcast going, and my baby just sitting in the seat, just watching, and she'll just look up at me every now and again and smile, and that's peaceful because I'm moving, my body's moving, and I'm seeing different scenery, and I'm listening to something that's empowering.
Yeah.
And my baby's safe, and we just moving, and ain't nobody doing no tripping. Like, and then, like I said, podcast. I'm a big candle guy. I'll fire up a candle. Hey man, I'll fire up a candle at any moment. Now I don't get the Bath and Body Works, the joints that smell good. I'm in Kroger grabbing my candles for $3. You can only smell the scent on my candles when you hold them to your nose. But I'll fire that thing up, turn the lights out, and just vibe. I'm in my garage right now. This is my space. This is for Daddy. Daddy has to make sure everybody's safe. Daddy takes on the stress of the world. Daddy has to do all that. I gotta protect, provide all that. Let me have a garage. Let me have my peace. Let me just sit in here and do nothing.
That's fair. And tell me this, Chris, because as a new father, I remember I did an interview years ago and somebody asked me like what were some of my best times like as a mom, and my answer was watching my daughter sleep. It's one of the most enjoyable things that I got to do early. And tell me if you agree, because I'm learning as a newlywed, married to a Black man in this time, something about being able to give the women in your household, in my case, at that time as a single mother, the fact that she could sleep so peacefully was because I provided her with that safety to be able to rest that deep. And it's something about that, I think, also for Black husbands and fathers, to be able to provide that level of safety so that your daughter can sleep well at night, so that your wife can sleep well at night. Now, somebody could probably kick a window in, I might stay in REM sleep. But there was a time when I never even slept that deep because I was like, what if? And I always had to be thinking about a game plan. Now that there is a protector in my house, it is so different. And I know that means you probably have to carry the burden of being ready to act whenever, however.
I want it.
It's a joy to provide that for the women in your life, I'm sure.
I'm a smoke detector. I want I'm a smoke detector. Any smoke that's coming in this house, I want it. But kill them. My God. Sometimes when my baby sleep, I just stand over her crib and watch over her like Batman watching over Gotham. She's peaceful. She's sleep. Kill them. We went to the beach My baby was in the back seat, just knocked out. And I'm driving for 2.5 hours. It's all good. You with daddy, you safe.
Yeah.
I got the gun on me. You back there, eat your crackers, your sippy cup. We good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. And a brother takes pride in that, man, because I know that some girls don't have that. Absolutely. Some girls don't have a dad that's, you know, whether their dad's in prison, whether their dad's not living, or whether their dad is living, but just wants none of the responsibility. Me just knowing that, hey, this kid is mine. If there's a problem with her, you got to deal with me. I take pride in that. I want everything that comes with that. I want that as dad. That's a beautiful thing. And I tell you, as a woman, that is going to stay with her to the end of time. Having a protector to show you what that looks and feels like in a Black man as a young girl is priceless. And there, even as situations escalate, like, for example, she could find herself in a very, like, even if it's like threat of violence, if her dad is within earshot, you'll be amazing how safe and secure and calm she will remain because you've instilled that in her. I'm already, like, I want her, like, she's one, but as soon as she's able to talk and just have some type of understanding, I'm getting her like the little Verizon phone watch where it's only 10 numbers programmed in the phone. Yeah. She can call like her daddy, her mama, her aunt, her grandmother. If in any situation, I don't care if you're at school, wherever you are, if you feel unsafe, tell whoever the adult is, I feel unsafe. I want to call my dad. And if they do not allow you to call me, when I find out it's, hey man, I'm coming and it's not gonna, and I'm not, and when I show up, it's not to be logical. I want anything that's a problem, I want it. Oh man, hey, yo, this was a fire conversation. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all killed it.
That hour flew by quick, didn't it?
Yeah, ooh. Man, y'all got any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
No, this was great, man. I think it was, I know we thought about talking about something else, but I don't think there's anything more important right now than Black people's mental health. Yes. Your self-care. So if we recapping, one last thing. Because I recently saw that, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Jazz Fly. Jazz Fly, she's a writer. She wrote on This Is Us. She wrote.
She committed suicide. Yeah.
Yes. She co-wrote Jay Prince's book, and she co-wrote that movie with Taraji P. Henson, where she was like a sports agent.
What Woman Want.
There we go. There we go. She committed suicide. I guess, you know, she was a strong friend, and I don't know, she was checking on everybody, but maybe she didn't feel like anybody was checking on her, and the way that the world is. Do y'all feel like you're the strong friend amongst your circle or whatnot?
Yeah, I'm definitely the friend that is often the one giving counsel. I'm that in my friendship circle as well as in my family. I'm like the oldest girl, and sometimes, like, jokingly, they'd be like, well, you know, Kathy, mama gonna take care of it. So you kind of take on like a natural nurturing role, even with your siblings that are close in age or older than you. But I've also, in just my acceptance of like my need for help, which is something that psychologically is programmed into independent women. Like, I don't need no help. I'm self-sufficient. I got it. I don't need I need my partner. I need rest. I need help. I can't do it all by myself. I'm not always strong. I don't always have it figured out. So the first thing that I had to do was stop allowing myself to be portrayed as that person, to be honest with my weaknesses and when I needed help. And when I gave that to myself, then other people gave it to me too.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh man, that's incredible. Before you answer, Jarvis, the reason I'm gonna say that's incredible, Kathy, and because you can admit to that.
Yeah.
You know, some people be like, I got it.
Yeah.
But when you're able to say, hey man, look, I ain't got it, man.
I ain't got
I
it.
don't have it. Like this thing is crumbling. you're looking at, I'm holding it together, but this thing is really crumbling, and I can't hold it up by myself. I need help. That's strength. That's a superpower within itself, because you're letting people know that, hey man,
and like we talked
assistance.
about at the beginning of this conversation, we've been programmed to think the opposite. That when they say like, you all right? Ah man, nothing. Swell off my back, brush your shoulders off. I got this. Not only it be like our culture, but also in our religious beliefs. Everything ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. And sometimes it really is something that you need to cry and let go of, or scream, or break something, or release it however you release it, creatively, or on somebody's couch, or crying on somebody's shoulder. You got to give yourself permission to go there, because if you don't give yourself permission, other people are learning what you need by what you give to yourself. So you give it to yourself first, and then other people will acknowledge it too.
That's a bar right there. I'm gonna take that.
You know how I do with the bars.
I'm gonna take that. That was poetry right there.
I've been writing a lot of blogs during this time. I know you've been writing and working too, but my last like 3 blogs were some of my best work. I wrote about creative anxiety, which is like anxiety and mental health issues tied. And then my most recent blog I wrote on Juneteenth. It's entitled For My White Friends. So it's basically this conversation exposed to the many colleagues and associates that I have that are not Black. So if you wonder what we think about this situation, read the blog. It's for y'all.
So you have a website with your blogs and you?
Yeah, so on my website, spokenbykathleen.com, it encompasses my creative work, my blogging, my merch, my books. All of that is on the same platform.
And it's something that people can subscribe to?
Yeah, you can subscribe. You can get updates. I try to do a blog like every month. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel if I create a visual. You can follow all of my platforms from the website.
Okay, we're gonna put all that. We putting all that information.
Please do.
in the caption information box, so y'all can follow my partner Killem, spokenbykathleen.com.
Yes.
There we go.
And I'll text you the last one directly so you can read it tonight.
Absolutely. I'm subscribing. Yeah. Don't even worry about it. I'm subscribing. Okay. I'm reading. We're on quarantine. I'm reading everything.
Thank you.
J. Sam, what you got, fam? You the strong friend amongst your people? What you got, fam?
Yeah, so not only that, but at work too. Like I'm the guy that everybody comes on with the issues there, and then boom, you come home, you get all the issues there. I will say throughout the years, the dynamic has slowly changed. Though I can remember being 100% that guy that everybody leaned on, and then it felt like when I needed somebody to lean on, everybody, I'm busy, I can't talk right now, I can't. I've been able to kind of weed out those people that had that kind of energy.
That's important.
And replace them with people that had, more of my interests at heart too, not just their own agenda. Because that's very important, because people will drain you, man. You have the wrong people in your life, they'll drain you. And if you have people like that are constantly draining you, you got to make some moves, because it's great to have good friends that can, you can be a listening ear for them. But at the end of the day, we got to have somebody that can be a listening ear for us and a shoulder to cry on and all that good stuff. So while I do feel like I am that kind of person, I will say I think my circle of friends has expanded to where we're more connected with one another, and we can all lean on each other for that.
Oh man, that's beautiful, man. And I know you got the JarvisSam.com, man. We got the leadership class on that joint. We got the blog, we got the podcast on that joint, man. And all that information is gonna be in the information box, man. So people need to have access to y'all, man. And I know y'all are, willing to reach out to people. So we're gonna make y'all available, man, because people need to hear from responsible people who's trying to figure it out and just trying to, we can figure this thing out together, man. Everybody don't have to have all the answers. Right. I don't know nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I don't know nothing.
So he don't know nothing.
I read up on certain things. I'm trying to figure it out, like this parenting thing, fam. Ain't no manual. I'm learning as I go. Like I got a baby girl. I know that one day she's gonna like boys. Boys are gonna like her. I'm gonna want to slap boys.
She cute.
You know what I mean?
She cute, bro.
You see what I'm saying? And that's gonna have to be something I'm gonna have to deal with. So when that girl about 15, 16, y'all check on me, because I ain't gonna be all right. But y'all know what it is, man. Hey, check this out. I really enjoyed talking to y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all go do your thing, man. Kathy, I know you're a strong friend. I'm gonna check up on you because we gotta make sure we all right.
Sam, it was so good to get your text. I'm glad to hear from you.
Absolutely. J. Sam, you already know I be spilling my soul to you. Pause. That sounds crazy. That sounds crazy.
That's good.
It's necessary.
Okay, cool. That's good. I'm good, Kathleen.
Yep.
I'm good. Because I'll hit my boy.
That's attractive. That's manly.
Okay.
Don't let nobody tell you otherwise.
Yeah, okay. Let me flex real quick.
Yeah.
My partner said that's attractive, that's manly. And if I'm going through it, I hit my boy Jarvis with 100 texts back to back, man. That's just what it is. I'm like, hey man, look, I'm thinking about doing this. I don't know about this. I'm struggling with this, man. It's just good to have people that you can reach out to and just check on you and make sure that everything's okay. But like I said, we were supposed to talk about something else, but we focused on a mental health conversation that is very necessary within our community. And like I said, man, we need to help each other. I really appreciate y'all for joining me in this conversation. And we'll do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Jarvis.